शीतल चांदनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा मधुर राग. How is everyone doing? Can you hear me? All right. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening. Shireen Bhen, so happy to see you. I love the view, and I think from some other window we can also see the sea. I think we need to come and visit you very soon. The whole Ohio will be over.
You need to make, it's not the sea, it's a lake, and I'll show it.
Lake, okay.
You need to come soon. Make a road trip.
Yes, absolutely.
Here.
Ah, beautiful. Wah, 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 wah. You are already living in heaven. This is beautiful. Perfect place to meditate.
Yes.
Very nice.
This is what we call Dadi Janki room.
Dadi Janki room, yes. I went on a tour when you had given a tour for the Baroda family, and very beautiful. Maja aa gaya. So, so do you want us to start with meditation, Shireen Ben? We'll play a song?
Yes, play a song.
Yes.
Play a song and give me a minute and I'll be back.
Yes, take your time. Yes, sure. 5 minutes song. Thank you.
मधुर रागिनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा शीतल चांदनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा मधुर रागिनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा शीतल चांदनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा निर्मल सी गंगा उज्ज्वल सी यमुना निर्मल सी गंगा उज्ज्वल सी यमुना परम पावनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा मधुर रागिनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा शीतल चांदनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा तेरी आभा है सौरभ बिखेरे हुए तुमको देखा तो बाबा हम तेरे हुए तेरी आभा है सौरभ बिखेरे हुए तुमको देखा तो बाबा हम तेरे हुए खुशियाँ मिली है खुशियाँ मिली है बेशुमार बाबा मधुर रागिनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा जिंदगी सोने जैसी जिंदगी सोने जैसी खरी हो
साइड में ही होता है।
कैसी हम पे ये जादूगरी हो गई जीवन में आई जीवन में आई अब बाहर बाबा मधुर रागिनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा ज्ञान की पाई अनमोल हमने निधि योग की तुमसे सीखी अनोखी विधि ज्ञान की पाई अनमोल हमने निधि योग की तुमसे सीखी अनोखी विधि हमें ले चले हो हमें ले चले हो उस पार बाबा मधुर रागिनी सा तेरा प्यार बाबा
Om Shanti. Good evening, family. Good evening, Shireen Ben, our sweet angel, for taking out the time to teach us the Enchanted Murli class. We are really looking forward to that. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. So today I was thinking of, is the volume fine? Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. So the thought is that we will discover the Murli on Friday, which I think is the 11th of September. But it doesn't have to be that Murli, it can be any Murli, because there are a few things I want to share before we get into the Murli. You know, there is a difference between a swamp and quicksand. A swamp is, you're not sure where it begins, you're not sure where it ends. You kind of get in and it's really difficult to get out. You know, it's like vast. And one of the things that happens is when you are in a swamp, you realize that, you know, it's kind of mucky and you're inside and you're getting stuck and you're trapped. And then a quicksand, which Baba calls as bog, I think is the English word, but the American word is quicksand. Quicksand is where you, it's like a smaller area and you don't know it's coming. And once you put your foot in it, you get totally trapped in it, you get sucked into it. And it's really, really difficult to come out, right? That those two, a swamp and quicksand. And I feel that Maya is like that. Maya can either come in the form of a swamp or it can come in the form of a quicksand. And before you know it, you know, you're either in the swamp or you're in a quicksand, and Maya is very, very tricky that way. And we have to understand that Maya is our enemy. That's the first thing we really, really need to understand is, you know, I always say this, know thyself, know thy enemy, you know, in that order, actually, even know thy enemy before you know thyself. But at least know thyself and know thy enemy, because what we think is Maya is not exactly what is Maya. Maya is where I am getting stuck in my own overanalysis. I'm getting stuck in my own disheartenment. I'm getting stuck in my own weaknesses, my own defects. And I feel no one at this point can really be as big an enemy to us as we can be because of our thought patterns, that our thought patterns are not very good. And so, one of the things we have to understand is not just my life is okay, not just, oh, I have everything, which we do, we are living here and we belong to a community, most of us, where, we have everything. And so, and that's fine and that's good, but that's not the point of a spiritual life. What am I missing? What is the potential? What is my highest potential? Not, oh, I'm okay here, but I have to see what is my highest potential and am I really reaching my highest potential? And I'm not reaching my highest potential because we are either getting stuck in a swamp or we're getting stuck in quicksand and we don't even know we are doing it. And recently, I was reading about elephants, and one of the things that elephants, so scientists who have studied elephants, say that elephants and human beings have very, very similar emotional thought patterns, emotions. They have similar feelings, they have similar emotions, and many of you know that famous saying, they have as uh, good a memory as an elephant, because they have shown in Africa that there are these forest rangers and things like that in Africa, and if they rescue an elephant and then really take care of them and then release them after taking care of them and bringing them back to health, and even after 30 years, if the elephant meets the forest ranger, the elephant will recognize the forest ranger and will give that kind of affection to that forest ranger, and they've shown it time and time again. And one of the things that the elephants do very well is they really protect the herd very well. They're very, very good with unity. And so they will never leave any of their, the member of their herd. They will never leave. And then, they really protect, and they will always come back. If anyone is left, they will always come back. They'll always call out. And so, psychologists actually say that if you've had trauma without the support of a elephant herd. So even if they have trauma in elephants, what happens is the herd supports them so much, because elephants also experience PTSD, and but the PTSD, because of the herd, everything that the PTSD, um, you know, diminishes because of the support they get from each other. And so I was thinking about this. I was thinking about elephants, and I was thinking about getting stuck in the swamp. And I was thinking that the thing that is most important right now for all of us is, especially after today's Murli, I've been deeply thinking about this. At the end of the Murli, if you saw, Baba was really talking about being in the gathering, collectively doing something, having the right thoughts, good wishes, pure feelings for everyone, unity, harmony, all of those things, right? So everything to do with unity, Baba was talking about towards the end of the Murli. And so one of the things we have to remember about getting stuck in the swamp or a bog, either one, is that when the family is united, when we have that good wishes and pure feelings for each other, we can really help. Just like an elephant, we can help bring them up, right? And so, we have to think about that. We have to think about not just ourselves, but we have to think about each other and see how many good wishes do I have for someone, even if they're not being nice to us. How many good wishes am I having for this person? And so the other thing that I was thinking about, based on the last few Murlis, the last few days I've been churning on these things from the Murli, is, and I wrote them down actually, and is what happens is that when we um, have, you could say, um, when we have the ability, to um, really take from Baba, and what am I taking from Baba? And that is why I wanted us to revisit the Murli of September 11th. Actually, you could, any Murli, you can pick any Murli. And what is the experience that we are looking for? The foundational experience that we all need. And this foundational experience is so important that we all need to experience it every day, not just once in a week, once in a month, once sometime, but we need to experience it right now. And we need to experience that. And because of that, the way we listen to the Murli is very, very important. And so one of the things that uh, that we have to do is, so this Maya that I'm talking about, no, this enemy that I'm talking about, our own waste thoughts, our own negativity, all of that is so tricky that we are stuck either in a swamp or a bog and we don't even know that. And so we have to allow ourselves to be rescued by Baba. And the rescue happens through the Murli. And so we have to allow ourselves to be rescued by Baba. We have to allow ourselves to be part of the herd like the elephants. We have to allow ourselves these things. And there's so many traps, Maya has so many traps. And that is why I keep saying again and again and again, know thy enemy, know thy enemy. Know what is your enemy, because no human being can be as worse an enemy for you as you can be for yourself. And so know thy enemy. And last one, before I get into this part of the Murli, is we are part of this collective, right? We are part of the gathering. But even in the gathering, we need to know what our enemy is. The biggest enemy in our gathering, the biggest enemy actually in any gathering, but in our gathering, we'll talk about our family. The biggest enemy is that we compare ourselves. We compare ourselves to other people. And so what happens is several things happen when we compare ourselves. First, what happens is when I compare myself to someone, what happens is that I not only fall into a trap, and the trap is either I think I'm better than someone else or I think I'm less than someone else. Either one is very dangerous, to think I'm better than someone else or to think I'm less than someone else. And that's what comparison really leads to. Either I think I'm better than someone else or I think I'm less than someone else. And the other thing that happens with comparison is I want to, jealousy starts because of that. I want to copy that person. Instead of following Baba, I start following that person. We get sidetracked. I want to do what the other person does. And most importantly, we forget our own important role. No two people can be the same in the drama. In this drama, in our family, no two people can be the same. And we have to really appreciate our own role, our own part as part of this gathering, right? And so we have to understand that the two words that I feel we have to balance perfectly. Balance here doesn't mean I do either or. Balance here means I integrate both of them and I walk that fine line of making sure I'm doing both. And that is harmony and distinct. I am unique, I'm distinct, but I'm in harmony. So if I'm dancing in harmony, but I'm also unique and distinct. And so to be able to keep ourselves united, to keep the gathering strong, these two words are absolutely essential for us to understand. And so, and that's what comparison does. If I start comparing, then I either think I'm less than or, less than or greater than someone. I forget that I'm distinct and unique. I forget that I have my own role. I forget all of these things and you know, I lose my way, you could say. And when I lose my way, you have to realize something. When I lose my way, then everyone loses their way. And so, to be part of that gathering, we have to be together, not losing our way, being distinct and being in harmony. And so one of the things that Baba said in the last few days in the Murli is Baba said, I have come here to dispel darkness. And I was thinking, that is so beautiful. I have come here to dispel darkness. And I, as a soul, we have to have this pure, pure pride. I, the soul, am helping Baba to dispel the darkness of the world. That's a big job. Though, again, we have to have the balance here. Balance is we have to remember we are helping Baba. It's not our task, it is Baba's task. Like, don't take ownership of the task unnecessarily. Baba, we are helping Baba. Baba is here and we are helping Baba, is one part. And the other part is that the importance, not importance, the pure pride. The pure pride of knowing that, yes, I can help and I will help Baba dispel darkness. And to be able to do that, we have to dispel the darkness in our own mind. And to be able to do that, we have to understand the Murli very well. And that is absolutely essential. We have to understand the Murli very well. We especially have to understand the Sakar Murlis very, very well. One of the things that I always feel about Sakar Murlis is if you want to know how to extract things from the Sakar Murlis, you absolutely have to listen to the Murli in the bodiless stage. You have to listen to the Murli in the bodiless stage. If you don't listen to the Murli as a bodiless soul, in soul consciousness, then you will not get what Baba is telling you. And so remember, I started off with saying a few minutes ago that the point is the point is not that I'm okay. The point is, am I experiencing my fullest potential? Am I reaching my fullest potential? And to be able to reach my fullest potential, I have to listen to the Murli in the bodiless stage. And also, the most important thing is this experience. Remember, I was saying, is not that we just have it sometimes, but every day we need to have this experience. And this experience is that you have to feel that Baba is seeing you as his child. So there is one thing of Baba is seeing you as his child, is accepting you as his child, right? That experience you should have. And the other experience you should have is from your heart that there is this real deep love for Baba as your father. So both these experiences should happen, the deep bhavna for Baba as your father, and on the other hand, the experience of Baba's love for you. You should experience that Baba is really feeling that you're his child. And to be able to do all of that, there's everything, right? There is a saying in Hyderabad, Har marz ki dawa zinda tilasmat. So zinda tilasmat is this Unani medicine. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. And any time you get sick or anything, that's the medicine they give you. Like for any disease, the medicine is in the tilasmat. So for any disease, right? Any disease, the medicine is the Murli, and how we listen to the Murli. So the operative word here is listen. Okay, read if you want, but listen also. So both listen and read, how we study the Murli. So let's talk about listening. Or now, because we are reading, let's talk about reading the Murli. But listening also the same thing, is the way we listen to the Murli has to be in the Bardless stage. It has to be in the Bardless stage. And so one of the things that we have to do is, I have been doing that lately, is when I'm not reading the Murli and I'm listening to the Murli, I have a notebook. I have a pen, and I make a small little square. And I will show you what I mean by that. Like this, you see the square? I take a small little square and then I mark. Every time my mind wanders while listening to the Murli, I mark. Because I want to know how many times my mind is wandering. And if I keep marking that, then over time, then that wandering will stop, because I'm being mindful, I'm being careful, I'm paying attention. I'm not just letting it wander, but I keep bringing it back and I keep focusing. And so, ready? Let's address this Murli. So all of you have a copy of the Murli of the 11th. If you don't have the copy of the Murli of the 11th, then pick any Sakar Murli from this week. And
Shireen, Ben, we have the Murli. We have the Murli. It's been posted on the group.
Okay. All right. So any questions or any comments before we go into the Murli?
Shanti, Sister Shireen.
I can't hear you, so speak up, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Just quick question. When you said listen to the Murli, yes, we do listen in the class, but do you recommend listening more than one time? Or how do you want us to listen then?
Definitely during class, you have to listen, but then other times you have to read. So that's what I said, listen/read.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so listening in the class is absolutely important, but that's it?
If you don't listen in class, then whatever you're doing afterwards is not going to be valid.
Okay, mm-hmm. Got it.
Because there is a method to the medicine, no?
Correct, yes. So, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Sister, I just want to tell that more you listen, better we remember. Because if you just listen one time and then don't read it again, or don't listen again, and that particular Murli or particular thing will be forgotten. It's a natural thing. So more revised or more I read or listen, it helps me more.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
Yes, it's important. We have to, that's why I keep saying it's not just listening, we have to read also. We have to read. So listen and read, listen and read. I would say minimum 3 times a day. Listening and reading together, minimum 3 times.
Thank you.
Okay. So when we are reading this Murli, so we're not going to listen now, we are going to read. I want you to start from Om Shanti. Don't worry about the essence and the question and answer. I want you to start from Om Shanti. And I want you to read each sentence in the bodiless stage. So become aware of yourself, and you have hopefully you have a book and pen, and you want to read in the bodiless stage. And what you have to do is every time your mind wanders, on the piece of paper, just put a small mark. And then go back and listen, start reading again the bodiless stage, wherever you left off. Again, from the bodiless stage, with the bodiless stage, you start reading. And so the bodiless stage is you're totally aware of yourself as a soul. You're totally aware of yourself as a soul, and the soul is reading through these eyes, and the soul is the one absorbing. And Baba, you totally understand that the Supreme Soul is talking to the soul. The Supreme Soul has come to you personally to give you this Murli. And we will read the first page in the bodiless stage. Has everyone understood what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so ready? And have a piece of paper and a pen so that you can put, you can mark every time you are, your mind is wandering, you can mark. Sounds good? And okay, it's going to go slow in the beginning. So don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be very fast. It will go slow.
Shireen, then one thing I wanted you to clear for the students about when we are doing Murli class, are they supposed to read Murli in parallel? Open it.
That's very important. It's a good question.
Yes, thank you.
They have to listen to the Murli without any, that's being a good student, no? They have to listen to them, everyone, we all have to. Even when I'm listening to the Murli, I don't have a Murli in my hand. I don't read the Murli before. When the days I'm not reading the Murli and someone else is reading the Murli in the center, I am a student. We all have to be students. And if I have the Murli in my hand and I'm reading, and whatever excuses you're giving yourself for having the Murli in your hand, they're not valid. It's just an excuse, and I'm sorry for being too honest and open like this. You have to put your Murli away, take a notebook and write points if Baba is saying something you would like. After the Murli is over, then you go. So you either listen. When you're listening, you're not reading it. After the listening, in the session, in class, then you can go read it afterwards. Sounds good?
Thank you.
Shanti. Is everyone done?
Om Shanti.
Need more time?
I think that was good. Can some of you answer if you need more time?
I'm good, Didi.
Okay, and it doesn't matter if you haven't gone too far and it's going slow. Remember, I said it will go slow. But the important thing is to see how your thoughts are wandering and to make a note of that and to keep bringing back and keep reading it in a state of bodiless, in a bodiless stage and soul conscious stage, which are slightly different. The bodiless stage is where you're totally bodiless and the soul is absorbing what Baba is saying. You realize that it is the Supreme Soul speaking to the soul and the soul is absorbing. Soul conscious is, I picked this particular page of the Murli because Baba is talking about everything. He's saying, you know, you were deities, you were Lakshmi and Narayan, you were all of that. And so soul conscious stage is when Baba is talking about those things, then you remember those things. You become soul conscious and you remember, yes, I was Lakshmi and Narayan. You become soul conscious and you remember, yes, there is a beginning, middle, and an end. And you become soul conscious and you remember everything that, you know, Baba is very detailed. He's taking you on a journey. In this one page, he's taking you on the whole journey. Would anyone like to share what their experience was? Angels, speak. This is not the time to be shy.
Om Shanti, Shireen Ben.
Om Shanti.
I have a quick question. I really like that exercise of checking to see when I am getting distracted. And so I started making those points, and now I'm more conscious about it. So thank you for that. I have one question. In the line when Baba says that it is said, sinful soul, comma, charitable soul, comma, great soul. Is Baba saying charitable soul and great soul are the same?
No, but in Hindi is Punyatma, Papatma, and Mahatma. And they're different. Punyatma is translated as charity, but it's more, you know what punya is, right? Punya is holy, punya is the soul is pure. So the soul is a very elevated soul. Punyatma is someone who's a very elevated, pure soul, and from that level of purity, they are performing punya, which is their giving. It's not just a charitable soul like you're, you know, a philanthropist or whatever. And Papatma is sinful soul, and Mahatma is the great soul. So the difference between Punyatma and Mahatma. So you could be a Mahatma and not necessarily a Punyatma, but all Punyatmas are Mahatmas. But Baba is using that language to tell us that in your language itself, you can see that you're not immune to the effect of action, because people say that some are Punyatmas, some are Papatmas, some are Mahatmas. He's using language as archaeology here, the archaeology of language, to discover, to make us discover, yes, you're not immune to the effect of action. Anyone else? share something about what your experience was reading the Murli that way.
Shanti, Shireen, this is Ashima. So my experience was very beautiful, Shireen Ben. I definitely had points that I made in terms of getting distracted, but there was one thing that I felt is that after some time of reading, I want to almost stop and stay in that body, in that like soul consciousness and forgetting the body. That I wanted to like just sit in that and stop and then start resume reading again. So that is not what we get in the morning when we listen to class. We are constantly going. So there is no time for that deep going in type situation. So what do you suggest for that?
You have to make time after class, after you finish class, attending class, no, being in the gathering, strengthening the gathering is very, very important. And being a good student in the gathering is very important. After you finish class, make time, even if it is 15 minutes, right? It took us 15 minutes to do one page. So you don't have to do the whole page. Just tell yourself you will do one page. I mean, you don't have to do the whole Murli. You just tell yourself you will do one page, and in one page, 15 minutes. We can all take 15 minutes, in the morning, we can all make that time. If you have children and husband and lots of responsibilities, you go into the bathroom, lock the door, and 15 minutes, read the Murli there.
Shanti, Shireen, it's me again. Um, my experience is also the same. I felt the point system really worked, and I noticed I was distracted 3 times in half page. So thank you for bringing that awareness in us, I think. And then understanding was so much better for me. Even I was just able to do the half page, but even that half page tells me more I know about it, what I would have done it other way. So thank you for bringing the how to read Murli in more careful way. All the Murlis now I'm reading every day. It seems like it's like Baba is telling me something each day to improve on. So thank you so much for bringing more attention towards that I have to be. I was just listening once and maybe listening to YouTube video, but I wasn't reading. But now onwards, I will read the Murli too. Thank you.
Is that Sulba?
That is correct, yes.
So what Sulba is saying is very important, and we have to understand something here about listening to the Murli versus reading the Murli. And the other important thing is, which was a question I wanted to ask you, is when you read this half a page, this one page, this whole page, or half a page, how much ever you read, did you get a message from Baba especially for you?
Yes, I did. First thing, I always, of course, the soul concept, I always Supreme Soul. That's the message I did get it. And how Sister Lata was talking about those 3 stages, and that I felt I understood more. I just felt like what Baba is trying to tell me. I totally understand that how I have to overcome Maya things, how I have to keep myself in soul consciousness and do any decision. I did read that how I have to be lotus. Even in the family, I have to be like a lotus living in the family. So those do give me a message that, okay, how I have to behave in my Lokik life. Is that right? I'm saying I'm sure.
Yes. Did anyone else get a message from Baba, especially for themselves?
Shireen Ben, I did get the message, and the message that came clearly from Baba in reading the Murli today is you are either in soul conscious or if not, you're definitely in body conscious stage. And that spoke really loud for me that it is either or, and it's a choice that I need to make in order to get the full lesson that Baba is giving me and to make that effort to become what Baba is making me.
Yay. It's good. Anyone else wants to share anything?
Om Shanti Sharin Ben, this is Kishore. This is a very, very interesting exercise for me. And one thing I really take from this exercise that is something learning about it. And so when you read the Murli or listen the Murli, you have to be very respectful about it. It now click in me that you just cannot read or listen leisurely. You want to listen, that is like Baba's talking to you personally. So that is a clear message to me, at least from this exercise. When I was reading it, I was completely in body conscious. I was many times and in and out in terms of distraction. So quite nervous about reading it because in the class, so it is not my way of doing it. But having said that, it is a very clear message that reading Murli or listening Murli is a very respectful thing, just like the sitting in front of Baba and doing meditation. It's a very respectful thing. And that's the what clear-cut message for me. Thank you, Om Shanti.
Anyone else? Shubi, you want to share anything?
So Shireen Ben, the message to me was that I need to not just listen in the class, which I have been doing, but also read, even if it's just a page.
So Shireen, then, is it reading just a page in the class or listening to the whole class and doing a page afterwards in addition?
You have to listen to the whole Murli in class, and then this is an additional page afterwards. One page, at least afterwards.
Yes, that's what I thought. So, yeah, so we have, different way of going about it. We do find that most of the students, quite a few don't come early in the morning for Murli class, and then some of them, or most of them, open the Murlis. And we will try to make sure, or at least, for our own benefit, we will see that if we can do Murli class with just listening and, making notes, because that will help us, help the intellect to really absorb. And Shireen, then my experience of reading the whole page was very good. I do try to read the Murli in the morning or the day before, and soul consciousness is not an issue. So, there are times because of severe body allergies that in the morning my eyes and nose, they are absolutely in suffering. But having said that, reading now, it was just beautiful. You feel that, of course, the soul is absorbing so much more of knowledge when you're soul conscious than at any other time. So it's beautiful. Thank you.
Great. So, anyone else wants to share? Fine. Otherwise, let's have minutes of remembrance before we close.
So we remember Baba.
Okay.
Srilata, can you play a few lines?
अपनी अनंत किरणें पाए सा पसारे, अपनी अनंत किरणें पाए सा पसारे, गुण शक्तियों की माला हमारे गले में डारे, बाबा तुम हमारे ओ बाबा प्यारे प्यारे। शीतल सी ये रश्मियाँ हम पर बिखर रही हैं, आनंद की फुहारें प्रतिपल बरस रही हैं, शीतल सी ये रश्मियाँ हम पर बिखर रही हैं, आनंद की फुहारें प्रतिपल बरस रही हैं, अनुभूतियों में रंगे रूहानी ये इशारे, बाबा तुम हमारे ओ बाबा प्यारे प्यारे।
Om Shanti, Shireen.
Om Shanti. Thank
Om
you so
Shanti.
much.
Thank you, Shireen.
Shanti, Shireen Ben. Thank you.